Breaking news, 5 staffers hurt trying to break up fights at a local high school. We're live learning new information on what could have started it.
Cameras hidden in a place you'd least expect them. The charges one man is now facing after police discovered what he was doing.
When rain returns. I've got the new timing for our next chance for showers, and I'll let you know if our entire weekend will stay dry.
We begin with the staff members injured trying to break up fights at East Chapel Hill High School. Thank you for joining us at 7. I'm Gerald Owens.
And I'm Carly Haynes. We're told those staffers were trying to stop the fights and they were injured in the process. WRAL's Willie Danley joins us live from the high school. Willie, this all happened over the course of 2 hours, right around lunchtime.
Yes, Carly. In that 2-hour period, there were 2 separate fights here at East Chapel Hill High School that injured 5 different staff members here. Take a look at this video. According to the town of Chapel Hill, the first fight took place around 11:48 this morning. 3 staff members were injured trying to break it up. At 1:52, another fight broke out, injuring 2 staff members. Luckily, all of those staff members that were involved are expected to be okay. For a brief period, the school was put on a hold where all students and staff were ordered to stay in their rooms. Today, we spoke to a representative from the school district about how they brought the campus back under control after the fights broke out.
One fight before lunchtime, another one later in the afternoon, and it creates this scene that needs to be brought under a greater control. And so you have school staff supported by district level personnel, as well as Chapel Hill Police and other emergency responders who are all converging onto the scene to assist.
We are working to learn more information about what occurred here today. We are told that there are support staff and therapists that are going to be reaching out to students who are having trouble processing what happened here today.
Willie, this is obviously very serious. Do we know what consequences the students involved in these fights could face?
According to the school district's code of conduct, those consequences may vary depending on what administration decide. It could be anything from detention to out-of-school suspension. WRAL has reached out to the school district to learn more about the consequences that the students involved may face.
All right, Willie, thank you so much.
At 7 o'clock, a Wake Forest High School is rallying behind a grieving football coach and his family. Fans are wearing blue tonight in honor of Erica Lucas, the football coach's wife. She died this week after being shot by mistake. WR's Heidi Kirk is live at Wakefield High School where the game is just getting started. Heidi.
Well, Gerald, that game just started within the last few minutes or so, but if you take a look over at the stands, you'll notice there is a crowd over on the other side wearing blue in honor of Erica Lucas. Now, Lucas was often seen here on the sidelines at Wake Forest football games where her husband, Reggie Lucas, had been the head coach since 2009. Now, as you mentioned, Lucas died from her injuries earlier this week, almost 2 weeks after she was shot in late August. Now, Wake Forest police said Lucas was not the person targeted in this shooting, making it even more heartbreaking. Now, Lucas touched so many students across the Triangle. She was assistant principal in Rollsville High School for 3 years and the assistant principal at Millbrook from 2018 to 2020. And if you come back out here live, you'll notice that crowd out here is growing even more as we speak. We know that there are several members of her family as well as friends over in that crowd right now. Dan.
Heidi, Lucas was so much more than an educator. She paved the way for other educators in the school district. Give us some of that background.
Well, Gerald, absolutely. You know, we spoke with the assistant principal over at Millbrook High School who knew her well. He said that she really paved the way in more ways than one. She was one of very few African-American women to be principal at that time, paving the way for many more in the future. And aside from that, he said she really just had a connection with so many students across our area. As we mentioned, she certainly will be missed. Heidi Kirk, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
All right. Thank you, Heidi.
And a beautiful weekend ahead, Mike. Highs in the 80s, but is the rain going to hold off for this weekend?
I think it will. If any rain does come into the area, maybe Sunday night. Now, we had a spectacular day. I want to start with Lake Gaston. I've been doing this all afternoon because the weather we experienced today will carry over into the day tomorrow. So it'll be in the 80s, upper 70s to low 80s with low humidity. And it's still comfortable out there right now with the dew points in the 50s to low 60s. It's 76 in Raleigh right now, 75 in South Hill, 76 in Fayetteville. The weekend looks great. late. Cool in the morning, 58 the low. Later in the afternoon, 80 with partly cloudy skies. The winds continue to be from the northeast. Dew points still in the 50s tomorrow. A touch warmer on Sunday. The morning low 59, the high 84. Still dew points in the 50s. But we're watching a system off the southeast coast, not tropical in nature, but an upper level low is expected to develop here and move back inland. And it could bring us some rain as early as Monday. I'll highlight with that with Futurecast coming up.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. Brian Schrader here in the WRAL Live Center. And all new in the past 20 minutes, we've learned that Charlie Kirk's widow will speak tonight publicly for the first time. Erica Kirk is going to make her first public statement since her husband's killing. It's going to be streamed around 8:15, according to Turning Point USA, the organization that Kirk co-founded. This is the suspect in that killing, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, being held without bail tonight. He is expected to be formally charged in Utah on Tuesday.
Thank you, Brian. A Raleigh man is in jail accused of hiding cameras in a home under construction in Garner. Andrew Belter made his first court appearance this afternoon, charged with felony secret peeping and breaking and entering. WR's Kirsten Clark was in the courtroom and learned more about a case that prosecutors are calling disturbing.
Arrest warrants say that Belter installed hidden outlet cameras within rooms inside the home. The house was under construction to be sold to a victim who might have never known they were being watched. Belter appeared in court virtually, his attorney present alongside state prosecutors. The prosecutor said Garner police received a report on August 13th about what was found during a home inspection. They say 2 outlets were not working, and after opening each outlet, construction workers found, quote, odd-looking contraptions that turned out to be cameras.
Do they know where particular these cameras were located?
One outlet was located in the primary bathroom, but showed a portion of the bedroom, and the other had been located in the living room.
The prosecutor described the devices as a potentially 3D printed box with a small camera and SD card slot. Investigators discovered they had been recording since August 6th. Police were able to use serial numbers on the cameras to track down the company that sold them to Belter and Belter himself. I spoke with a cybersecurity expert from Checkpoint Technologies about the cameras.
They'll do images like snap images. So like there will be a time frame or interval where an image is taken, and it can be motion detected, right?
Should homeowners, inspectors, is this something that they should look for possibly when they are going through the process of buying a new home?
For just regular people, situational awareness. If you see something that doesn't look right, you see a small device propped up or things in the corner, it just looks suspicious, then definitely reach out, investigate.
We learned that Belter is the co-worker of the homeowner, which is the victim in this case. Belter's bond was not changed. It remains at $100,000, and his next court date is on October 2nd. Garner police tell me that they are looking for more potential victims in this case. And of course, we are still working to learn as much as we can as the investigation continues. In Raleigh, Kirsten Clark, WRAL News.
If you're just getting to the news tonight, we're going to get you caught up. Here are 5 things you should know right now. A guilty plea in the 2019 shooting of a Raleigh police officer, Charles Ainsworth. He was shot while investigating a stolen car on Schaub Drive near Western Boulevard. Cedric Kearney pleaded guilty to 3 charges and was sentenced to at least 10 years in prison. He'll serve that in addition to a 21-year federal sentence related to the case. 1 person is dead after a crash in Harnett County. Sky 5 flew over the scene on Highway 421 near Prospect Church Road. A cement mixer truck tipped over in the crash. We are waiting on Highway Patrol to tell us more about what happened. And the 2 brothers accused of killing Wake County Deputy Ned Bird are expected in court next week. The Marine Sotelo brothers had a homicide status hearing last week, confirming a trial for September of next year. It's not clear why they were just added to Tuesday's calendar.
The company that makes Ozempic is eyeing Johnston County for possible expansion. Sources tell our NC Capital team that Novo Nordisk is scouting 70 acres of farmland in 4 Oaks. A deal has not been finalized. Officials in 4 Oaks are scheduled to vote on annexing the land next week. Today, Governor Stein announced plans to improve access to COVID vaccines. Anyone 65 and older, as well as adults with certain health conditions, can get a COVID shot at a pharmacy without a prescription. This was not the case for a while because a CDC advisory panel hadn't recommended the vaccine. That panel meets next week. Still ahead, is nail gel dangerous?
The European Union just banned a chemical that's found in it. But a UNC dermatology professor says it's not the gel you have to worry about, it's something else. Ashley Rowe is joining us to explain after the break.
This next segment is for you out there who enjoys a trip to the nail salon every few weeks. You know, you get to sit back, relax, get your nails done. Isn't it nice to be forced to put your phone down while you get your cuticles cleaned up? Maybe you saw the headline last week. Certain gel nail polishes were just banned in Europe. Technically, it's an ingredient within the gel that was banned, trimethylbenzoyl diphenylphosphine oxide. It rolls right off the tongue, right? Let's just call it TPO. It's the chemical that helps nail gel harden under UV light. And by banning TPO, Europe essentially banned nail gel in every nail salon across the 27 countries in the EU. A cosmetology teacher at Wake Tech told me concerns in the EU relate to potential health risks with long-term exposure or improper use. The concern is a potential risk to reproductive systems, and it's a concern based on real studies, real research. But before you cancel your next nail fill appointment, let's take a closer look. The studies were done on rats, and researchers fed those rats TPO. So, good news, you are not a rat, and no one is feeding you this chemical. A professor of dermatology at UNC told me we should also look at something else in the study called the margin of exposure. Essentially, it's a number that scientists look at to assess safety concerns.
Anything considered over 100 is considered safe. And for this product, they calculated it was 1,515. So if we're going to go by the margin of exposure, I will say that it's pretty safe.
All right, keep that weekend nail appointment. And hey, if you're still concerned, there are strong nail polishes that don't have TPO. Talk to your esthetician about your options. But hold up, the story doesn't end there, because there's something else you should do to stay safe at the salon. Before you go, you might want to lather on sunscreen.
There has been also concerns for skin cancer due to the UV light. Those are real risks and more common than the TPO.
Remember how we said TPO helps the gel harden under UV light? Well, it turns out that UV light is probably a bigger risk than the TPO. WRAL covered this back in 2018. A dermatologist said over time, this intense exposure can add up to cause skin damage. For many patients, a gel manicure can be life-changing. If applying sunscreen to your hands ahead of your next nail appointment isn't realistic for you, I get it. But it's something to think about, right? And this is all a reminder that sometimes we get so hung up on one toxin, what we're putting in or on our bodies, that we don't think about the more obvious dangers right in front of us.
That's important to know. I've clearly never had my nails done, but your nails are beautiful, and you've done this.
I have.
Do this.
Yes, I do this, and we were talking beforehand that I had guessed it would be the UV, and not only do they suggest sunscreen, but also these gloves that you can put on your hands so that just your nails are exposed. But yeah, I mean, you're doing it every 2 weeks. That's a lot of UV exposure.
But you have great nails.
Thank you.
Beautiful shot here at Lake Gaston.
And a great sunset, too.
Yeah, it's a wonderful evening.
Yeah, we had a beautiful day. It warmed up. We had more sunshine than we did yesterday. 82 the high. Now, today, September 12th, is our average last 90-degree day. I have no 90s in the forecast for the next 7 days. And the farther along we get into September, the least likely we will have the 90s. Not to say we won't, but I don't see anything on the horizon. 76 right now at RDU. It's a very pleasant evening to be outside. If you're at the high school football games this evening, folks definitely need those jackets. 57. The dew point right now, 76 at Nightdale, 75 at Rollsville, 76 at Durham. The Durham Bulls are playing this evening. Holly Springs, 74, 78 in Fuquay-Varina. And numbers close to home and around the region look pretty good. 75 at Rocky Mount, 75 in South Hill. So our Football Friday forecast, well, since the games have started and you're probably not sitting at home watching us and then going to a football game, you can consider this your dog walking forecast. If you're heading out for the evening to get your steps in, 8 o'clock, 71, 69 at 9, 10 o'clock, 66 by 11 o'clock, or 65. And in the morning, we should be in the 50s to start the day. Now, the weekend is filled with sunshine. There's no doubt about that. There'll be some clouds around, especially on Sunday from this system. But this is what we were talking about yesterday. It's an area of low pressure that's off the coast of Florida, quite a bit of cloud cover. This isn't expected to become a tropical system. What looks like will happen is an upper level low will develop. It'll get cut off from the main jet stream. And when we have what we call cutoff lows, they really don't move all that quickly. It's an area of low pressure. There's lift, rising motion in the atmosphere, develops clouds, showers, some thunderstorms. And now it's looking a little bit more progressive than what the model was showing yesterday. Yesterday looked like it would be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday that we would see the rain. Now it's moving a little bit faster. And the concern about your weekend is if it continues to move a little faster, rain could arrive Sunday night, hopefully not during the day on Sunday, but we may see some clouds. Also, the American model really isn't touching on this, not really producing much in the way of rain. It did show an increase in cloud cover during the same time period. So I'm wondering if the American model is starting to turn around and come into agreement with the European model. It is now showing rain for us on Monday with some thunderstorms possible. Futurecast will start it on Sunday, showing the clouds in the area. By 8 a.m. Monday, rain at the coast that builds up to the north and to the west. So by 6 o'clock on Monday, showers are possible, but perhaps some storms too. Tuesday, as of right now, looks like it could be the wettest day with scattered showers and storms. The greatest coverage later in the afternoon and evening. Still the possibility of showers and storms Tuesday night with the upper level low still in the vicinity. We're sitting in that sweet spot where we have the greater lift. So Wednesday looks for scattered showers and storms as well. And finally, this begins to lift up to the north. Thursday and Friday look far drier than what we'll see Tuesday and Wednesday. So for tonight, though, comfortable, clear skies. 54 at Roxborough, 58 in Raleigh, 59 Fayetteville, 58 at Southern Pines. If you're up early in the morning, it'll be a cool start. Later in the afternoon, a couple of degrees cooler than today with upper 70s to low 80s. 7-day forecast, nothing really hot. Now, with that rain coming in Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, temperatures dip a little bit, especially by Tuesday and Wednesday. It's quite possible highs could be in the 70s, and then they rebound Thursday and Friday with drier weather.
All right, Mike, thank you.
There are so many ways we honor the lives lost on 9/11, including artwork. After the break, we go into the WRAL archive and revisit the story of a North Carolina artist who created something special using debris from the World Trade Center. But first, let's get you ready for what's shaping up to be a beautiful weekend.
There is so much to do when you are out and about. Over the years, we've seen so many different ways to honor the lives lost on September 11th. There are the stair climbs, the ringing of the bells, laying of wreaths, days of service, and art.
There is a really special piece in North Carolina that uses steel and other materials from the World Trade Center. It's located in the heart of downtown Greensboro, and Fayetteville actually brought it to town for a year or so.
And we've searched the WRAL archives and found a story as the artist worked, sculpting with care and reverence. Thank you for making WRAL your choice for local news. We hope you have a great weekend. We leave you now with this Friday moment of nostalgia.
This tower is Jim Gallucci's contribution to all of us. He and his assistants wanted to do something helpful after the attacks.
Finally, I came to the conclusion, do what you do best, and that is make your art. And if I could make a wonderful piece of art out of something so terrible, then we're doing the right thing.
The Greensboro artist is transforming steel pieces of the Twin Towers, 16 tons of it, into 2 massive sculptures.
The metal from the World Trade Center is twisted and gnarled, difficult to work with, but it will stay that way. Gallucci says he'll use it just like it is and incorporate it into the sculpture. He wants to preserve the metal's integrity so much, even the turnings left behind by the drill will be sent back and recycled.
We didn't want to alter them or chop them up or do anything to them. We're doing the minimal amount of intrusion, if I can use that word.
This is what the current project will look like when it's done this week. The second will be twice as tall. Both will be built to travel so others can see them.
This is about doing something right and something good that can help people all over the country, if not the world.
The steel is cold and hard, but after months of putting his soul into it, Gallucci believes this metal can help Americans heal. Brian Bowman, WRAL News, Greensboro.
and Spectrum Channel 1257.